Before we get to number 6, I have a video that I want to share with you.
What is it about dating that turns otherwise normal human beings into crazy people? I mean, they start talking like babies. I just love you so much, Kelly.
I love you too.
You're adorable.
Oh no, you're the cute one.
No! They can't keep their hands off of each other. Oh, I love you too. You're the best. And they start saying some really ridiculous things that, I mean, they sound nice, but if you actually think about it, they're just dumb. So I am here today to debunk some of these relationship cliches that just aren't true. Relationships are 50-50. Yeah, that's right. Relationships are always completely fair. 50-50, 100% of the time. Except that's not real life. Sometimes you need to rely on your partner, and other times your partner is gonna need to rely on you. It could be 80-20 from time to time, or it could possibly be like 10-90. But one thing is hardly ever going to be is exactly 50-50. It's just not realistic.
Oh, hey Kelly, I've got this list of things I've done around the house today versus things you've done around the house today. My list is very long and you've done nothing.
Well, I'm sorry, I've got that big project that I'm working on and I had that meeting.
No. 50-50, this relationship has to be 50-50 or I'm out!
Love means never having to say you're sorry. Actually, love means saying you're sorry all the time. I guess this phrase comes from the idea that you're so in love that the little things don't bother you and everything is great because you're physically attracted to someone. It doesn't make any sense, and anybody who has been in a long-lasting relationship will tell you that apologizing when you do stupid stuff is like relationship 101.
So you're telling me that you left the front door open, my dog right outside, and then you hit it with your car?
It was an accident. You're not mad, are you?
You killed my dog!
Well, it's a good thing that love means I never have to say I'm sorry, because if you didn't love me, you'd probably be pretty mad at me right now.
You complete me. If another human being completes you, you're in a lot of trouble. I guess people have this idea that they're like one half of a heart or something, and they're looking for the other half of that heart so that they can have a whole heart. I mean, it's sweet, yeah, but is it true? Are you incomplete if you don't have another person to call your own? Because somehow that just seems like an unhealthy mindset. Josh, are you okay? You've been acting like this for the past 5 minutes now. Like, I'm actually starting to get a little concerned. Do you want me to call 911?
I'm back now.
Oh,
We can go. Sorry
okay,
about that.
bye. If you want a relationship, you should be looking for a companion, not life support. Love at first sight. This isn't real. Anyone who understands what the word love actually means knows that you can't love somebody at first sight.
Actually, the English language is pretty limited. Other languages have multiple words to express love, and
Shut up. The only way that I would believe it when someone tells me they were in love at first sight is if the person they purportedly loved at first sighted was like not attractive. But I think that we can all agree that that probably would never happen. Love at first sight is reserved for hot people looking for other hot people. Sorry folks that don't fit into the current cultural mold of beauty, you're gonna have to find love the hard way. So repeat after me, people. It's attraction at first sight. It's not love.
It was love at first sight.
No, it wasn't. Stop romanticizing your life. Do you think you're in a movie or something?
I thought this was a YouTube channel.
Dating can cause discontentment with God's gift of singleness. Some of you might look at that phrase and was like, Pastor Tom, are you serious? Who here was single for Valentine's Day? Loser. Just kidding. You're not at all. I have some good news for you. And that good news is the gift of singleness on Valentine's Day is the gift of not having to spend money on other people. Somebody did put more money. I did see that actually on the board for that question that came in. By the way, you guys know I was joking when I said you guys are losers, right? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. The only people that shook their head no were the people that are already in a relationship with someone else. 1 Corinthians 7. Paul talks about the gift of singleness. He says that he is single and he wishes that everyone else could be single. And I look at this and I'm like, Paul, what are you talking about? This doesn't make sense at all. Movie, TV, and society tells us that we need to be with someone else. In fact, when you look at most movies, the happy ending to movies is they lived happily ever after together. There's never this, I lived happily ever after by myself. You don't see that in movies or society today. Paul says that he wishes that we had the gift of singleness for one big reason. And what is that reason? It is because you can do more for God if you are single and not with someone else. Now, some of you might be like, well, I don't understand. How can I do more for God? Let me lay out some things. Say that you want to be a missionary. You want to go to Ghana. You want to go to Australia. You want to go to Ireland. You want to go to the Arctic Circle. I guess there are people up there that work with penguins. You want to go to the Congo. You want to go to Brazil. You want to go to Detroit. That's probably the scariest one. Wherever it might be, here's the thing. If you have a wife and kids, or you have a husband and kids, it's not just about you. It is also about them. And you have to go, you know what? I don't know if this is the best place for my wife. I don't know if this is the safest place for my husband. I don't know if this is where we want to raise a family together. And so when you're with someone else, it's not just about you living your own life. You have to bring them into the equation. If you want to be a missionary, there are places where you share your faith and you can get killed for it. And that might be something where you go, you know what? I don't know if I want to be so attached and so close to someone that we get into a situation where he or she could die, or I could die. They could be left without me, or I could be left without them. Those are serious questions to ask. Another question is just simply travel. Maybe some of you are like, I want to see the world. I want to go all over the place. I want to visit all those places, maybe not necessarily be a missionary to them. The thing is, visiting those places takes money. It takes time. If you're with someone else, you have to always work in their schedule. You have to work in the budget has to be bigger because it's for both of you. And that's something that you might not be able to do because once you're married, you don't have the time. You're not as flexible because you're sharing life with another person. Another thing is job. What do you want to do with your life? If you want to be a researcher in the Arctic Circle, it might be difficult for you to have a long-term relationship with somebody else. If you want to go around the world doing certain things, it could be hard for you to be in a relationship with someone else, not just for you, but also for them, and it might be unfair to them. So there are a ton of different reasons why when you look at an individual person, you go, you know what? It might be better for that person to be single than to be in a relationship with someone else. Now, they might not be in that situation their entire life. It might just be for a season. I want to let you know that everyone in the world is called to be single at some point in their lives. I don't see 5-year-olds getting together yet. Thank you, Jesus. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But you guys understand what I mean. Babies aren't getting together. Little kids aren't getting together. There's a point where you start to grow and become adults, and then you might start to get with people. But the thing is, at some point in every single's life, everyone is called to be single. So I would encourage you, don't be upset when you are single. When we started out this series and I would ask some questions about love and relationships and dating, some of you would put up stuff, also Valentine's Day, like you were upset because you didn't have someone for Valentine's Day yet. You didn't have someone to go to the dance. There wasn't this thing. And it was like, there's this hole and I need it to be filled. Oh, I don't have anyone. I don't have someone to be my Valentine this year. Don't be upset when you're single because you have a freedom that couples don't have. This means that if someone is single, it shouldn't automatically make them feel like they are less than others. You are not less than if you're single. It doesn't mean that they should automatically feel miserable or incomplete. Enjoy what you have while you have it. I don't know if girls are going to be able to identify with this, but I know guys will. I want you to imagine that you're playing video games. Now, for me, the best one that I can think of would be Fortnite. You're playing Fortnite, Battle Royale, and there's 5 people left out of the 100 that started. And what? Oh, man, your girlfriend calls. What are you going to do? You're not going to answer because this is a rare opportunity that you have that you might be able to win the game. You aren't going to do that. Of course, if that happens, girlfriend later on is going to be like, why didn't you call me? You're like, baby, I was playing. There were only 5 people. I almost got you. Aren't I more important than a video game? Yeah, but I was in the middle of something. You're going to be in trouble because you didn't answer. There's some sacrifices you have to make when you're in a relationship with someone else. If you don't feel like hanging out with a friend, you can tell your friend, listen, I'm a little tired. Don't feel like hanging out. I want to do something else. And it's fine. If your girlfriend or boyfriend is like, hey, want to hang out? And you're like, nah, how are they going to react? They're going to be like, is something wrong? Do they not like me? What's going on? Do they want to break up with me? You said, do they hate me? Is that what you said? Do they need to be mature? I find that most people, especially in your age bracket, when their boyfriend or girlfriend says, I really don't feel like hanging out right now, they almost always have a problem with that. They're like, something's wrong. What's wrong? I need to find out what's wrong. If you're single, you don't need to deal with that drama. I want to let you all know, you don't need someone else to complete you. Society tells you that you need to find someone else to complete you, and that is a lie from Satan. Now, while you might not have the gift of singleness for your whole life, I want to let you know you do have it now. Some of you go, Pastor Tom, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend. None of you all are married. None of you are engaged. There might be someone else who's really important in your life, but right now you guys have the ability to be single. Now, some of you, you're like, you have that girlfriend and boyfriend, you're still kind of slightly tethered to someone else, but you can be free in the grand scheme of things if you want to. Hopefully none of you are like, I want to run off and be a researcher in the Arctic, and you're like, well, I can't because I have this girlfriend that I've been going out with for 6 months. If so, then I'd be like, maybe you need to reevaluate your relationship. I encourage you to learn to be content. Learn to be content with what you have while you have it, while understanding that your circumstances won't always be that way. Am I happy to be married right now? Absolutely. I would not change it for the world. I love being married. It's awesome. Are there times I ever miss being single? Yes, there are. I could do my own things. I could make my own decisions. Yes, everyone turn and look at Katie. But I want you to hear what I'm saying. I could do my own things. I could make my own decisions. I wasn't responsible for someone else. Now, it doesn't mean that I'd rather be single now. No way. Making plans with and sacrificing for Katie, it's worth it. It's worth giving up all those freedoms and that flexibility that I have. But I'm not blind to the fact that there are pros to being single. And I don't want any of you to be blind to the fact that there are pros to being single as well. Being in a relationship, even with someone as amazing as my wife, it takes work. We have to sit down sometimes, have difficult conversations about life, upcoming decisions, how to deal with different things, how to love one another better. Everything that comes with living with another person entails. We work at it. And sometimes it's not fun. Single people, it's much simpler. You don't have to deal with that drama. You don't have to deal with that, which means those of you who are single should enjoy the season of singleness that you are in. Dating tends to make people feel like they aren't good enough or they are less than others that are dating. I guarantee they have less drama. People who are dating, they probably have less money because they're dating. There are good things about being single. Don't discount the gift of singleness that God gives you. There's a very good chance for just about everybody here, it isn't going to last forever. Katie and I have a friend who is our age and she is single. It's not because she's ugly either, okay, or has some huge deformity or she's really stupid. No, she's really bright. She's decent looking, I guess. I don't know. Like Katie's a 10 and everyone else is like a 2, so I don't know. She's not a 0, so maybe she's a 2, just kidding. Like she looks fine. I'm just saying some people are like, that person is single because they couldn't pay someone to date them because of how ugly they are, whatever it might be. This girl is not like that. I say girl, but she's a woman because she's our age. Anyway, she's single. She's single and she loves it. She travels whenever she wants to. Every dollar that she earns, she can spend on what she needs and wants and not on someone else. She's considering a big career change that may bring in less money in her life. But she has the flexibility to do that because she's single. She's going, you know what? I think I'd rather do this and help other people in this area. It's making less money. If she was with someone else, she might not be able to make that decision. Now, most people aren't like that, which is good because we do need people to get together and make babies. If everyone on earth was single, everyone on earth would be dead in about 90 years. But I want to let you know, just because you're single now does not mean that you're going to be single forever. So enjoy the advantages of single life now. Extracurricular activities, after-school jobs, sports, travel, video games, doing your own thing. There's a thing that I noticed with a lot of guys in their mid-20s, one of the big things they say with relationships is, I don't play video games as much anymore because, I got the old lady that I have to hang out with. So, yes, it is a phrase that sometimes people use in regards to their significant other. The old ball and chain. Anyway, that is number 6. Number 7, dating creates an artificial environment for evaluating another person's character. Remember Frozen and Anna? They were all crazy she was all crazy about the prince. They were dancing, they were singing about sandwiches. It was so romantic, it was perfect. They were perfect for each other. Everyone's smiling as it's happening. And as I was watching it, and I never saw it before, first time I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of cute. Except it turns out it wasn't, because it was an artificial environment that was set up where a guy lied about who he was to try to get power. She never got the chance to know about the prince's character and integrity. We all know that's a movie. We understand that. People really don't fall in love like that. But there's still this undercurrent in society of wanting this love at first sight feeling. When Katie and I first met, it was not love at first sight. Now, she did have a crush on me, but I was blind and stupid at the time and didn't really notice her. When people go like this, they look at a situation and they go, it was so romantic. In fact, it was so romantic. How could someone not fall in love in that instant? We think that if the lights are just right, if the music is at the right volume, if the food is good, if the right words are said, all the right buttons are pushed in this formula of making the perfect atmosphere for a perfect date, then they'll fall in love. That's not what love is. That's creating something that's fake and that isn't real. When we go on dates, sometimes some of you're like, I'm going out with this person. I know I'm going out with him. Maybe not that next week, but this week we're going to go to the movies, something together where you have this thing. You pick out your clothes. I'm going to wear this shirt. I'm going to wear these pants. The dance is coming up. What am I going to wear? Put on the perfume, the spray. Do your hair perfectly. Fellas, you're like, I need to have the money ready because if I don't have enough money, I'm going to look cheap, so I want to look and act the best. If the night goes right, I might get them to really like me and fall in love with me. It's like a formula. If we have a good date, if we have a good time together, this means that we'll end up together. Spoiler alert. If you're going to marry that person, they are going to see you at your worst. Do you want to surprise them later on in life? How would you feel if you were surprised later on in life and you thought that that person was someone else than what you actually met in the first place? Do you want to surprise them later on in life? And how would you feel if you were surprised later on in life? Too often I hear these things. She wasn't like that when we dated. He never acted that way when we were dating. That's not the person I married. And it's because both of them were chasing after feelings and romantic moments instead of actually discovering what the other person was really like. You both magnified the best parts about yourselves and you both hid the worst parts about yourselves. Some of you go, Pastor Tom, I'm not pretending. I just want to show off my best side. And I go, why not show off your worst side? Because if he or she loves you at your worst, then you have it made. Because whoever you end up with is going to see you and live with you on your worst days. When I first went out with Katie, now granted it was before we were dating, but we were getting to know one another and I was like, I want to pursue her. But I wasn't like, I didn't dive in completely at first. I wanted to go slow. But the very first time that we went out, I took her to McDonald's. Now, I'm going to be dating myself a little bit. Maybe Leo knows, maybe some of the adult leaders, I'm not sure. But McDonald's had a $1 menu. You could get stuff for $1. Do any of you remember the $1 menu at McDonald's? Any of the teens? You've never heard of a $1 menu? Oh, man. What? No, it's really good. You could get like a McChicken sandwich for $1 and a small fry for $1. Now, let me tell you what happened. I took her to McDonald's. $1 menu, there you go. I set the bar really, really, really low. But here's the thing. She wanted to go out with me again. And then when we went back again next week, went back to McDonald's, and I was like, listen, baby, sweetheart. No, I didn't call her baby sweetheart. I wasn't doing that. I was like, you can get whatever you want off the value meal menu now. And she was like, oh my gosh. I was like, well, yeah, look at that. It was $1 menu before. Now you get value meal. No, she wasn't a gold digger. I set the bar really low, and she still liked me. Now, we still had a good time. We hung out. We talked about different things. But the thing is, I didn't have to spend money or act like I had money to impress her. Girls, you don't have to feel like you need to put out just because a guy did something for you on a date. Well, he was really nice. I guess I have to, give something physical. No, please, that is a lie. You don't need to do that. That's not how relationships work. When it comes to expectations, don't you want someone to know who you really are? Don't you want to know who they really are as well? When you just put on this facade of this is the best I have to offer and they don't see everything else and you hide it behind a curtain, well, where is this going? Because if you eventually want to be with them and do the happily ever after thing with them, happily ever after includes whatever's behind the curtain that you're hiding and whatever's behind the curtain that they're hiding. Dating at times can be a form of playing pretend. It's like the best version of you with the best version of them. I don't know about you, but on most of my days, I am not the best version of me. You might be thinking about this with just yourself, but there's a good chance that they're doing it to you too. And you don't know, which is why I hear the phrase where people are married for a couple of years and they go, this is not the person I married. I didn't know this about them. This is different than they were before. Dating can be a lie. It's about creating a perfect yet artificial environment so that I can show off my perfect yet artificial self to someone else. And both people are doing it. And to use that as a tool to find out who you want to spend the rest of your life with, it's kind of stupid.